Hi, welcome to the Bates Motel After Show, Season 4, Episode 6, The Vault. This episode, we find out what happens to Norma when she's backed into a corner. And a prediction from a fan that will have you flip in the script.
That's it. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I mean, you know. Uh-oh. Oh, the what?
Oh, no.
Yeah, confession.
I love when flip dances.
It's so good.
So good.
So she's got one
So
on
much
the
lip
way.
biting.
So much.
So much
Welcome to the
I mean, it's bruised
AFTERBUZZ.
afterwards. It hurts so much.
All right. Welcome to the Bates Motel AFTERBUZZ After Show.
Are you Joe Braswell?
I'm Joe Braswell.
Are you joined by the lovely Du'a Kaissi?
Hey, do what you do it.
I'm still recovering from that one.
Welcome to the AFTERBUZZ After Show. I'm Joe Braswell. We are here for episode 6 of season 4. I'm joined as always by the lovely Du'a Kaissi.
Hi, guys. Welcome.
And I also joined by the lovely Joe SanFelippo.
It's nice to be here with you guys.
And I'm also joined by the lovely Julia Kerry.
That's me.
That's
Hi, guys.
right. Hi. And we're also joined by Usher, talking about confessions. Which, by the way, why does he want you to feel bad? His biggest dilemma in this song is that his chick on the side is pregnant. Now, what's he gonna do? He's got the one chick, but his chick to the side is pregnant. I'm Usher. I've got tons of problems.
He does. Just loaded with problems.
And in part 1, he talked about the girl he was messing around with. In part 2, she's pregnant. Boom!
What happens in part 3?
I don't know. I ain't a part 3 yet, but stay tuned. Anyway, confessions. We speak confessions because there's a lot of confessions made in this episode of Bates Motel. I'm sorry, I went on an Usher rant, but that's what that was. Thank you all for joining us on YouTube. Hello, all you guys on YouTube and on iTunes for listening to us, and we appreciate you guys. And if you're on iTunes, thank you for rating us and checking us out there on YouTube. I don't have it up yet, but I'm sure you guys are there, and I'll shout you guys out as you're watching us live. We're here, and sweet intro, Du'a. That was sweet.
Oh, guys. Well, what happened is you messed me up because I thought that you were making a face. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to take it over. So then I stopped and I paused because I thought you were going to kind of swoop in.
No.
I'm really sorry, guys. First day on the job.
I messed up
first day.
sick, so I just have to have someone to give shit.
Thanks for talking about the elephant in the room, Joe.
Anyway, we have so an interesting episode, and I'm actually a little upset about this because
What are you upset about?
Well,
Do you need a hug?
Yeah, I do.
Du'a, give him a hug, would you?
Du'a.
I'll give him a light
pat. That's all I get.
I completely didn't do my job, and this episode was directed by Nestor Carmel, our good friend.
Yes, and we were supposed to contact him.
Somebody's asleep at the wheel over here.
To come in for the episode he directed, but I think he directs 2 this season.
I think so. I think he said contractually obligated. He got 2 this year, right?
That happened?
His contract said 2, didn't it?
Yes, I don't know. I didn't see the contract.
Now you didn't say anything to him.
You saw him.
I was working at he and I were recording in the same studio last week, and I didn't say anything either. So,
but did you speak? You spoke to him.
Yeah, we spoke, and then they were ready for me, and they were ready for him.
Did Nestor remember you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he said to say hi to you guys, and then we took a picture. I sent it to you guys.
Are you making this up or did this happen?
No,
I sent you a picture.
No, you sent us a picture. She wasn't on the thread.
What?
Yeah.
I'll send you. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
And you should
That's a good picture.
send it out to everyone.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
As we have our internal
let's
conversation.
tweet it.
Yeah, I'll send it out later. We ran into each other in the same studio, and he was like, "Oh my God, you gotta say hi to the girls and Joe for me." Well, not the girls because she doesn't know
I
you, but
haven't met him yet.
But he said, you know, he said, "How's the show? Everything's great. We love your show." He goes, "Oh, this season, man, it's insanity." I was like, "Yeah," and then they called me and they called him. We had to leave. So,
how nice is that guy?
Yeah,
The
he's
best.
so nice.
the best. He's just the nicest guy in town.
It's so hard to find really sincere people in this business, but
Tell me
he
about
is
it.
one.
Whoa.
Throwing things in the
just
studio.
kidding. No, so I messed up. We'll get Nestor. We'll get you in here. I promise you, we'll get you in, and one of us will sit on the couch. I know who it'll be, and probably Joe Flippo.
Damn it.
And Nestor will sit
Not
right
doing
here, and we'll figure it all out.
I'm going to put him right here, right in between us.
Yes, exactly. It'll be a nice
each-
little sandwich.
But there
I
was
like it.
There was some
My
nice.
head on his shoulder.
I mentioned that because there were some nice
Carmel
touches. There were some nice,
cheese sandwich.
some nice visual touches in here. Some nice acting touches in here, and it's very good. Go ahead, Joe.
Can I just say
what you want to say? Do it.
Where are we going?
With what?
That's Nestor's. That's the in line. Where are we going?
Oh, yeah.
Where we go? That's the best line ever.
That was a smooth move.
It was the
So,
it was
I'm gonna-
extremely
Pack your bags.
yeah. It was
Where
where
are we going?
it was well.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, what I liked about this
I
episode,
thought that Julia would gush about that, not you, Flippo.
Oh. You know what? I was at home. I'm watching this late at night, and I'm literally like, I dropped it in the room. I'm like, fuck you. That was amazing. That's an amazing line. I was like, that's.
I mean, I was all prepared to gush, as you can see my love with a heart on it.
Oh, did I preempt your gush?
You did, but that's fine. You can gush away.
Anyway, that was
gush later.
amazing. That's an amazing line.
well, on this episode, both Carlton and Kerry got credits for writing this episode. So we have the A team writing this episode, and with Nestor directing, and Kerry's. I mean, Carlton's great, but Kerry's really good from her days at Friday Night Lights and Parenthood. She's good at this stuff. I mean, maybe at least two of us in this room have cried too many Parenthood episodes.
Oh my God, so many. My God, I don't want to
probably-
do it every time.
I
Don't want to do it.
I'm a grown ass man.
Here it comes.
I like whatever out of 100 episodes, I probably cried out of 60. So thanks, Kerry, Ehrin, and
Thanks
company.
for that.
Anyway, so she's really good at writing.
Sorry, you're like Al Pacino in Analyze This or whatever it is, where he just was sobbing in the hotel room.
De Niro.
Is it De Niro? Yeah. Pacino, thank you. How you cry? Well, I guess you are.
I dare you to watch that show and not cry.
Oh, yeah.
With your 3 kids.
Oh, I don't even have kids. I'm a
Heart of
sobbing
stone.
mess.
Hard like nothing.
audibly
I
sobbing.
feel nothing.
Anyway, let's get back. We're digressing a lot. The thing about Usher, he's got a girl on the side. And he's got a girlfriend.
I heard the girl on the side's pregnant.
He's confessing to the world. All right, so. But Kerry's really good at this stuff, and I agree, Joe. That was like probably one of the most romantic things I've seen in television or film in a long. That's like top 5 romantic moments
Beautiful.
for me.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful
pretty good.
moment.
You know why it worked? As we've said this about the show over and over again, they earn it. They never cheat.
Yeah.
Like you can write something like that and not actually get there in the scene, but it's still in the script, and so you do it, and it has one of those. It ends up coming off like, oh shit, really. But with this show, especially because they got such incredibly talented people and such an incredible writing staff, and you have secret weapon who's not a secret is Vera Farmiga, and you can actually build a scene like that, and you can get to that spot where you've earned that, and then when it hits, then it doesn't feel cheesy, it doesn't feel lame, it feels like you hit it with the middle of the bat, and it's a home run, and F you.
Julia, what did you think of this episode?
I loved this episode. I found this episode almost unsettling in its honesty. It was the most honest episode. There was no lying. There was no scheming.
Nope.
It was just uncovering these truths and just pure, unadulterated honesty, which almost made me uncomfortable. I'm so not used to that on this show.
Well, you grew up in
Someone
Los Angeles
scheming.
also. It's very uncomfortable for us in
It was
town.
very uncomfortable. But everything, it was also a really disturbing episode. Oh my God,
Freddie.
that flashback, and he played it so well.
Oh.
And his new transitions, now that he's honestly transitioning, now that he knows what's happening,
Yeah.
has just been so subtly tweaked. There was one transition that he did, because he has many, that when he was when the doctor asked if he could speak to Norma. That I've never seen him do it like that. Usually it comes from a very intense emotional state. So for him to make that honest choice, I was like, boom, he's doing it.
That's a big deal.
You know what? Speaking of big deals, I noticed right here that I'm reading the wrong episode. The good news is Nestor didn't direct this episode, he directs the next episode.
Oh, so we gotta get on the horn.
Nice.
So I gotta get on the
Yes.
horn
I
and
gotta
get him
plan
in
my
here.
outfit.
It's not too late.
It's No Place Like Home. I was 1 ahead. That's next week.
All right, well, let's get on the horn with Mr.
What
Carbonell.
A loser. I am
But
double.
this we will do. This was such a
in the
good.
in the chat room, they're telling me. I'm sorry. Yes, I get it, guys. I'm sorry. Yes, Nestor directs the. Okay, they said it here.
Now I'm not the only one that
see.
screwed up. I don't feel so bad.
Hello, John Doe. Hello, Maria. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Sam G. Hello, Shalom Joe. And Mary Kay Pearl. And Grand Mixer Intellect. And Lounge Blogger. And all of you folks. Hello, who are in the chat room right now. I just want to say hello to you in real time. John Doe. You too. Hello. So, hi, everybody. Anyway, what did you think of this episode?
This was a monster episode. So if you really think about everything that happened in this episode, we have a ton of things that happened.
Yes.
The first thing that happened is the key. The key traded hands. That's a big deal. We should talk about that. The second thing, Norman now knows that he turns into his mother. That's a huge thing and something that we weren't really aware of in the movie. The other thing that happens is Dylan found out. Dylan has found the letter that Emma's mother left her. So that's cracking that storyline wide open. Then we figure out what happens when you back Norma into a corner. That was the real star of this show. Like, I mean, I loved Freddie and I loved all of his scenes where he transitions, and that's Top Gun. But Norma, I think, probably experienced every single human emotion possible this episode.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's this thing called an Emmy? Have you heard about this? It's some sort of an award where they would just give it to like the best actress in television. I don't know. I've heard about this thing. I cannot imagine how the hell she doesn't have it.
Well,
Yes.
I think that, like, you know, in Emmy voting, they have what they're called their Emmy episodes. So it's like, oh, this is a showcase episode.
This
for
would be one for
How about
her.
they just send them like 30? Like 30 episodes.
The point that I'm making is Vera Farmiga's reel is like it's an Emmy reel. Like every episode is her Emmy episode. She can do no wrong. I love this episode as well. And Joe, just talking about what you were saying about them earning it. We'll talk about each of these plot points in detail. But what you're talking about earning it with that last scene with Romero. This is the fact that he just stared the entire time when we're like, what is he like taking it in?
What is he thinking?
Like he's like looking and she's screaming at him and she's saying this nonsense and saying, like, go ahead, because I'm trying to Norma meltdown. And Rome's like giving her like what the and he says, what the hell was that? And she does that wonderful confession. Shout out to Usher. Wonderful confession, tells it all, says everything she has to say. And to that, he just looks and looks and looks and then says, where are we going? It was perfect. Absolutely earned.
I was wondering how he was going to react when she was just spiraling down, yelling at Chick. I was like, stop it. Oh, God, please stop it. Stop going. Stop going. And she didn't stop. And I was just wondering how he was going to take that in and what his reaction was going to be when he closed that door behind Chick. It was perfect. Like, what the F, man?
Well, you know, Romero is very familiar of he's seen the Norma meltdown before. He knows what she's about. I mean, the beginning of their whole interlude was him questioning her about that guy's disappearance of the person that lived in the house before her way back in season 1. So I think that this doesn't shock him at all. And so I think that he also knows that, you know, he's like, just what the hell was that? And then once he got the explanation, you know, it all becomes crystal clear. You know, and I'm just going to say the one line that I just thought was brilliant is, I've never loved anyone enough to feel obligated to be honest with them. And when she had that monster monologue, I know you had that down too.
I can write that one down too.
And when she had that monster monologue, that was just, when you talk about good writing.
Good stuff. Kerry Ehrin.
Good stuff.
I'm assuming it's Kerry. She has a wonderful staff, everyone who knows who wrote that particular line. But I'm gonna bet it's Kerry. I'm guessing. But if it wasn't Kerry, I'm sorry to the writer staff. Sorry to everyone else.
Mature
let's
love,
get into
last thing I want to say about that whole scene, and I think we said this a few weeks ago about this couple about Nestor and Vera. They have this thing that they're able to bring. They're both still attractive. They're not old, but they're old enough that they bring a maturity to the role. And we all have baggage, right? At this point in our lives, you know, if you're in your mid 40s or wherever you are, you have baggage. No one's going into this thing completely clean. And I love that what they were able to bring to that scene is, without saying anything except for, you know, where we're going, he was able to bring all of that. Like, no, I killed fools. I've done all kinds of stuff. I've been party to all kinds of nastiness. In fact, this whole Bob Parrish thing is all going. I've done things. You've done things. I love you. That's it. We're in. Yeah. I love that. It was all there.
Not to bury the lead here, but there was also a big moment. They told each other they loved him. They said I love you to each other.
Yeah,
right before the big meltdown.
Yeah, so that's
big moment.
So, you know, but let's get into the specifics. So we pick up where we left off, where Chick has basically confronted Norma at the end of the last episode and basically is kind of saying, I know who you are, I know what you did, I know about your brother, I know the whole thing. Help me kill this fool, and I won't say anything. Essentially, is where he's coming from. And Norma's sort of grappling with this because, as she admitted, she really does have a huge amount of contempt for, and maybe even some hatred for Caleb. But it's her brother, and she loves him, and it was her former lover. So it's like couldn't be more conflicted about this whole thing. And I was really wondering trying to get inside Norma's brain what she was going to do, what I thought she might do. I mean, and I felt like, is she going to want him dead? Is she going to want to kill him? What is this going to be? And it was interesting to see that whole thing play out. But she did seem to go through the motions and do the investigation to find out where Caleb was. But I don't know, something changed along the line when she got somewhere between talking to Dylan and talking to Caleb. Her sort of like, you can kind of see her changing from, I want him dead, I'm considering this, to like, I've got to kill Chick to protect myself. I don't know, how did you read that whole storyline?
It was the conversation with Caleb. I think that's what pinpointed it, because the whole personally, the whole time she was trying to protect her secret, and her secret was that driving factor. So she went to go find Caleb, I think, to just, you know, we always talk about how Norma reacts first and kind of asks questions later. So she, right now, all she's looking to do is protect her secret. Once she has that conversation with Caleb, I mean, that was a powerful phone conversation. 2 actors on the phone, not actually talking to each other and being able to play that well off of each other. And I think that when she hung up the phone, I think that then she knew she can't, well, you know, her next viable option was then, well, I'm just going to have to kill Chick.
And I love that Kenny Johnson, too. Kenny Johnson does this great thing with acting where he plays uncomfortable in his own skin, shifting his weight, also like super vulnerable and super tough all simultaneously. It's weird how he does that. It's a really interesting.
It's compelling.
Compelling. Like, I'm a tough guy, but I'm super vulnerable, but I'm uncomfortable in my skin, but I just kind of want to know. Like,
and I'm making these choices as I go because they're hard for me.
Yeah,
these aren't,
really
I'm
good.
not,
Like, he's
these
really
aren't
good at
things
that
I've
stuff.
decided already. I'm thinking through right now, and it's it's the thing, and you're like, oh shit, what is he going to say next?
Yeah, he's really good at that, Kenny Johnson.
I wonder if they didn't get on the. I bet that they got on the phone with each other. I bet they did.
You think?
Yeah, you know, there's no rule says you can't, and you know that's a generous thing that you would do for another actor in this show. I wonder. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't done any research in it, but I would imagine that they
actually.
Julie, do you have any insight into what you thought about Norma's sort of life?
Yeah, I was just sort of thinking about this. So she always is in a state, with Norman, she's always been in a state of protecting him in some way or another. But then when Dylan has that line to her of, if you keep treating people like they're fragile, it keeps them from getting stronger. And I think that really hit home for her.
Right.
And then when she realizes, when she is backed into this corner and she doesn't know what she's going to do, I think getting on the phone with Caleb, I think before Norman was incarcerated, I think her first thing she would have done would to be find Caleb and get rid of him. But I think she's turned quite introspective, and now she's in this blissful state for the first time, and it's honest and it's real, and she's in love and she's living out this movie. You don't want to F that up,
Yeah.
you know, and she always Fs it up.
Yeah.
Something always Fs it up. So I think that was sort of like her driving force in her decision. Like, she wants to do it. And old Norma would shoot him, or old Norma would turn him on to Caleb. But she's an honest woman now.
Well, the other thing is, do you think maybe that phone call? One thing to consider. Do you think that phone call was kind of a test for Caleb too? Like, you know, you did just bail. I mean, you ran out. You know, we don't know what happened. Chick's saying all this stuff. She calls Caleb, and do you think if Caleb had said the wrong thing, maybe she would have let Chick know where he was? Maybe. You know, but he just came at it so honest.
I mean, he was so aw shucks about it.
Emma, I got involved in some stuff.
Oh, jeez,
and he knew about Emma. He knew about Dylan. He knew about the whole thing.
He's invested.
Yeah, and he didn't come out and say. And I think one of the other things he did that was as a character that was cool that she responded to again as a character was he didn't come out there and be like, oh no, this freaking guy Chick and all this crazy shit. I beat the hell out of him just to protect Dylan, you know, our son. He didn't do any of that. He's like, I got involved in some stuff. And
I left to protect you.
To protect you.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's so good. And so, like, how
could you then be like,
how do you
you
at that
gotta
point,
die now,
right?
son? Like, you
can't sell them out there.
I mean, they'd also had made peace with each other with their past. You know, they had that big family dinner. Like put it behind them. It is what it is. It cannot be changed. This is how the family lives on.
I would like to know what Romero and Caleb's next interaction would be like, though, now that Romero knows this information. And Caleb might be coming back. It looks like very soon.
Yeah,
so.
I was trying to read Romero's as you know.
Oh, I think he was
Norma
pissed.
is like doing this with the diarrhea of the mouth and like shut up, Norma, shut up. But like she's saying all this stuff and saying about the relationship and then what happened, and then it's like his like, oh well, it's a long time ago and things happen, but no, we were together, we were in love. It's all we had was each other. It's like, oh, and then he raped me, and it's kind of like his face is like. I'm taking myself through the same emotions of like, where's this guy? That guy?
Exactly.
And so who knows if he's gonna, want to punch him in the face or.
Well, I mean, Romero's can be unpredictable, and he's very chivalrous. And do you remember when the look that he gave her when he was like, the guy that I had dinner with at the table, the guy that was sitting at the same table, was the guy? Like, I could totally see him almost hunting down Caleb now and kind of investigating it.
Yeah, I agree. Like maybe because.
But for what though? I mean, there was so much honesty in what she said. And you know, we've said this for a long time, because there's so many shows now, the post-secondary golden age of television, whatever it is we've decided this is. There's so much nuance that's being explored with so many different shows, that behavioral nuance that we could never have explored in this way, even 15 years ago. But we're looking at an incestuous relationship that was based on obviously domestic, an abusive parental structure, right? And so we're actually looking at this, and she's as a character in a network series, albeit a cable network, is saying that I was in love with my brother. Yeah. We were in love. We were all we had, and then eventually I decided to stop it. But it's such an interesting idea, right? We couldn't have done this 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah,
There's no
we probably
way.
could have done it 10 years ago, and I think that the level of to say that this is my brother, we have this incestual relationship, but we're actually in love.
We're actually in love,
and he's the father of my child who is on the show, and like to play with those things. We talked about this in season 2 and 3 a little bit too, but this is some heavy stuff, and not to be outdone by Norman's flashback and reaccounting of what happened that one night.
Whoa.
Which was pretty effing heavy. We'll get to that in a second. But I do want to go back.
Hands.
I'm like, what? I'm like, why is Norman so effed up?
Because he picked the wrong goddamn place to hide.
Yeah.
Well, among other things, and the wrong gene pool to have Libby born from, probably too.
This show is pushing the envelope.
God.
That is like next level inappropriate.
I mean, talk about
the hand out to grab it. Oh.
Yeah, talk about not things you shouldn't see on TV or anywhere.
Gee whiz, future reference: don't hide under mom and dad's bed.
Well, I mean,
any other bed.
Any other bed.
We'll get to a second. Let's save all those thoughts, because I want to finish up with this thing, because one comment I had about this is that you kept seeing the old Norma wanting to surface. Like, she kept her, I don't know, the childlike behavior, the selfish behavior she kind of has. She goes into this.
The bringing a gun to a rainy bridge to try and solve your problem behavior.
Well, even before that, even before that
seemed like a very good way to solve this problem, by the way.
It says the Sicilian.
Who does that in real life?
But I know they do in your family, Joe.
Listen, I'm just saying, there's some problems don't want to go away. They got to go away.
No, but even beforehand, the conversation with Dylan, and poor Dylan doesn't know which Norma he's ever going to get. He's like, hey, my mom's cool again. Hey, Mom, how you doing? She's like, I'm picking up some stuff with Emma. And he's like, well, it must be nice for her. I forget the line she said.
Okay, have fun leaving me.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite.
Have fun leaving me.
Okay, have fun leaving me. Yeah. As she's like pounding the
And
onions.
she's taking all of her aggression
Mom.
out on her basil. She's
Yeah.
like, tick, 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 tick.
Chop the shit out of that basil. That is going to be one basil up dinner.
Have fun leaving me, and all these different sort of passive aggressive things she's saying towards Dylan, and even as the meltdown she had with Chick on the bridge, which is actually a kind of a breakthrough moment of strength. It was like the old school Norma melting down, almost in a tantrum, but like it's like, well, I can't kill you and I can't kill my brother, so I
just wanted my freaking window fixed.
Yeah,
So good. So good.
Why am I here?
And I think it got through to Chick too. It landed.
that was a laugh. I want to ask about that. No, but that was a laugh out loud line.
Yes,
because it's
but
like
so true.
Yeah, again, back to Norma's ability to play these scenes for a terrifying scene where she's faced with killing her incestuous brother or killing this murderous guy.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to get my freaking window fixed. Like, yeah, that's great.
Have I said that there's a trophy that they can give them? There's an award.
It's good. It's good.
An Emmy? Emmy? Isn't it called an Emmy?
Never heard of it.
Well, do we think that it rung true with Chick? Like, do we think that Chick is over it? Because what did that kiss mean at the end?
Well, I don't want to read too much into the kiss. We could ask. I know you mentioned maybe it could be the kiss or death or something like that. But
Maybe.
Chick is not Sicilian. I can tell you that right now.
I will say this: that whatever happened on that bridge, it hit Chick in some kind of way, because he got around, and he could have played this a lot of different ways. He could have came over and, with a gun, a shotgun. He could have came over, could have stalked her, but he literally brought the window. Here's the bill. And and then gave her a kiss on the cheek, which that was a nice touch. And I don't know, Chick's so hard to read. Let's go over. What do you think? What do you think Chick's takeaway from this?
I don't remember what his quote was. It got to be right with myself. Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Something
like that.
It's something about integrity.
I got to be in integrity with myself.
Yeah.
Oh, in the previous episode.
Yeah, and that to me, that's Chick, right? I mean, that's the idea of that there's some sort of a moral code, right? Yes, I deal with gangsters. Yes, I live in the mountains in this weird. I'm a weird mountain hermit thing now that my wife and my kid have left. But I have this code I live by.
Dope ass handmade walking stick.
Well, you'd be amazed what you can do when you find out you have to.
The baby head, nice creepy touch.
Yeah. A little bit on the creep tip.
Earrings.
But that to me is an interesting thing, right? He's got to be, whatever it was, in sync with himself, or honest with himself, or in integrity with himself. And now if she says, now he's basically being shown, you thought you were wronged, but if you follow through with what you're doing, you'll be wronging her. She has nothing to do with this. She's completely out of this, and you'll be dragging her into it and doing her harm, which would drag him out of integrity with himself.
He also likes Norma.
Yeah,
he likes
I
her.
think he does.
He called her polite and sweet,
Yeah.
and like he likes her, and she liked him.
What do you make of this, though? Do you make of Chick as because I don't. Chick is like every White Pine Bay. We've talked about this a lot. All these characters are shrouded in mystery. The town's shrouded in mystery. The sheriff's shrouded in mystery. But like Chick is, personifies all of that. But I don't know that he's a particularly sinister guy. He has sinister parts. I don't make a Chick.
No, he's an introspective man. He's an artistic soul. I don't think it comes naturally to be vindictive like that.
Wait.
And he also said, like, you never know what you're capable of until you're tested.
Are you in love with Chick?
I am desperately.
That's an important quote, though.
And I think he was tested. He tested her. She tested him, and he made the decision to keep it to himself.
Let us not forget that Chick did set Caleb and Dylan up to be executed.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
He had some money to make.
I'm just saying. So I mean, when we're talking,
he didn't know him yet.
Did he actually set them up? Or did he know? Or did he know? He not know what was going in? So he put.
Pretty sure he set them up.
I don't think so.
I don't think he set him up. Anyone
I think
else?
he knew the dangers
On
were
the chat,
there.
in the chat room there. Shalom,
I don't remember the specifics of it enough, maybe, to crawl up on there and
I mean, it's definitely out of integrity with himself
I
to
would
take
say.
two people when you present them with an opportunity to make a lot of money, knowing that they're going into a really dangerous situation.
Now, I'm not committed enough to this to make a poster board and hang it over the freeway sign, but I am pretty convinced that he set them up.
But
I don't think so, because they were
he
still going to
denied.
trade goods. There was still money to be made. That was his money that he wanted.
I want to. I mean, yeah, I agree. I don't know that he set him up. Maybe they can help us in the chat room. We got to shift gears here before we run out of time because we really got to talk about freaking Freddie Highmore Norman.
Yeah.
And his continued wonderful sessions with
And the
Dr.
key,
Gay Edwards.
too.
And the key. Well, let's touch on the key first. I mean, I don't know. I'll ask you, Du'a. Romero, they molded over, got the key, gave it to old redhead Rebecca. Gave it to Rebecca.
I say old redhead.
Well, I was going to be Rachel, Rebecca, Regula.
Yeah, I think we called her Rachel all last
I know.
episode.
That's what I'm saying. Rebecca. And did the move with the key under the thing, slid it under, and then never looked at her once and kind of stared forward.
Yeah. So.
Why?
First, I thought it was a really chivalrous move, and I was like, "That's really sweet." She wants the key. He's like, "I'm just going to give her what she wants," and then I realized, what the hell is she going to do with this key? She can't use it, right? Because wouldn't that implicate her and Bob Paris's disappearance?
No one knows that safety deposit. No one knows that safe deposit box exists except for her and Bob Paris, who's dead.
Yes, but I think that if people investigate and then you open up, like, it's got to be under somebody's name, or it has to be.
I'm not a doctor, but I would say with $3 million, you got pretty good odds you can disappear pretty quick.
Get out of there.
I got
Especially
lovely
if the DEA
talent.
is looking at her.
Then
Bounce down to Costa Rica, hang out with Kenny.
And it solves two problems with Nestor, because Nestor's either going to, Nestor, Romero's either going to have to kill her,
Right.
or get her out.
Get her the hell out.
So get the money,
giving
get
her the
out of
money
here.
gets-
The DA's after you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bounce, baby, bounce.
And then he's
Get you gone.
one less problem.
It solves his problem.
And
that's
worst case scenario, she gets caught with the money. He's like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I don't have anything to do with it. I guarantee you, his prints aren't on it, and nobody, it's not like there's any way to trace it back to him. So he just goes, I have nothing to do with it.
And
she said,
it was a chivalrous move.
Exactly.
And he still never
I
admitted to
agree.
her that I killed him, never
Exactly.
admitted anything, never said where he got it, never said anything.
No. So what is she going to do? Oh, the sheriff gave it to me? The sheriff killed him? Oh, yeah, the sheriff did it. Sure he did.
So
Yeah.
it could be a smart move. That's
Yeah,
fine.
But I agree, chivalrous, because he hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
She loved him.
Let's get into
Liked him a lot.
Let's
So
get,
it's almost like alimony.
A little bit.
let's get into these sessions. So Doctor Edwards, Dr. Gay Edwards, our good friend, is really making some progress with old Norman, right?
Yeah.
We had a breakthrough last week. We actually saw the transformation. Again, we talked about this, but also Amy should go to Freddie Highmore. Like his way he gets in and out of these transformations, the slight physicalities he does when it happens, a little like weird neck twist, and it's like, hello, and it's like, it's really,
and it's on the eyes.
it's
and
on
you
the
notice,
eyes.
You
It's a
know.
little jerk, and then it's like he's Norma, and it's really, really well done. But so they had those initial things, and I just wrote down when Edwards is breaking the news to him, he's like, I blacked out. What happened? He goes, well, I talked to someone else. Well, who was it? It was your mother. Norman was surprisingly calm. He's like,
Yep.
all right, my mom. What'd she say? I'm like, what?
Did she say hi? She said hi, right? Because I haven't seen her in a while.
What do you mean? Like, so what do you make of that? Does he subconsciously know that's happening, or does he think that? Well, he said, like, sometimes I've talked to my mother and she said she wasn't there, so maybe he's realizing that. But if someone told me, oh, by the way, Joe, when you blacked out, you became Joe SanFelippo and are ranting and raving and going a lot, I would say,
whoa, you should be so lucky. You're the best 10 minutes of your life. Never better than when you blacked out. Or dagoed out. I don't know what the actual term is.
That exact phrase was what you said on your honeymoon, I'm sure. The best 10 minutes of your life will be better when you're blacked out.
She's like, why are you lying? Why are you overshooting by 6.5 minutes?
If someone said that, I would freak the F out. So why, was that surprising? He's so calm? Anyone?
He hit rock bottom. He hit rock bottom at the strip club.
So that's how how do you interpret it?
I wrote the same thing, that he takes the news surprisingly well. But who else is he going to be? He only knows one person, really.
That's true. The dog, stuffed dog. I got the stuffed dog. I got Norma. I got Dylan. Dylan, I don't want to be Dylan. No. I got 3 people.
Yeah.
He seemed oddly inquisitive as to what she was like. Like he wasn't surprised, almost seemed a little relieved that he probably knew, because these blackouts have been such a mystery and so torturous for him for so long. But then he was like, so what's she like? And I loved Edwards. Yeah, exactly. Charming. She tried to seduce me.
And he looks kind of proud when he said charming.
Yeah.
He was like,
okay.
Norma is great.
That's excellent.
So I thought he took that particularly well, and then it just made me. I can't help but skip ahead in my head and wonder, like, where is this going? Because Dr. Edwards can't possibly make it out alive. He's got too much information. Like, what? How is this gonna? What's gonna happen here?
Can I ask a question? Structural.
Yeah.
Now, we had Kerry on the show. Last year. Was it last season?
Last season.
For the finale.
For the finale. Did she? I don't remember. I don't remember structurally where we're at here. Are we trying to link up with the movies, or have we decided this is a complete reset?
She gets very limited source material from the movies.
Right.
So I asked her that question when she was here, and she said, she's probably seen the movie a handful of times, read the books, but they don't try and pull specifically from the movie. They just used it as inspiration.
But the answer is yes.
Are
the answer to the end point.
Are we trying to line up this caboose with the train at the end? Are we trying to hit this?
The end of this is the beginning of Psycho.
So it's not like we're not. It's not a reset. This is not a new. No. This is okay. So this is where we're landing, no matter what.
Yeah. All right. I mean, everybody's gonna die. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. But so I thought that was great. He's making some progress, and then the next time they have this interaction where the trauma kicks in, and Norma's in the room, and she's there, and she's like, "Don't tell him anything. You leave him out of this."
And then she threatens him.
Yeah. Well, but in that moment, he's by himself, and then Doctor was like, "Well, is she with you?" And he's like, yeah, she's here now. And he seems so calm about it now. Like, is it happening to me now? What's happening? Like, yeah, she's right there. Dude, don't, it's like, well, can I talk to her? And then it was just that weird moment. Swoop. And he
best transition.
And he got to talk to her. And I thought that was an amazing scene, like across, like a tour de force scene written and executed, because in that scene you had the information of, I'm making this transition. We see the actual transition from Norman to Norma in real time in front of Dr. Edwards playing this out. And then you've got Dr. Edwards interviewing Norma and then pulling the information out of, pulling Norman's trauma through Norma. It's just really fascinating to say, like, okay, this is like, you created your mother because you've experienced these traumatic events. What is a traumatic event? And he's like, I can't tell you, but maybe my mother can. And here's my mother to tell you about it. He goes, oh yeah, he's fucked up. Here's what happened. Like, I tried to leave, my husband put a gun to my head, then he raped me, and Norman was into the bed, and I held his hand. Like, that's the story, but told through Norman. And of course, we had to see it, which was horrifyingly traumatic. I mean, I don't want to rehash it too much, but there's that's pretty graphic in there. I think there's hand and the thing,
and there's some tremendous specificity. I think with how that whole scene went down. They added the shot there where Dad's.
They did a lot.
We know where that was going. That wasn't going where it was supposed to go.
And as I yelled at the screen, like, I'm already traumatized. Stop it! Like, I'm gonna turn into my mother. I'm gonna be Mother Braswell.
Well, I think that Dr. Edwards has accomplished his goal, though. I think the fact that Norman can transition comfortably in front of him without being traumatically, forced to. I think that shows that Norman trusts Dr. Edwards, as does the mother Norma persona, to some degree. Because that's not something that he's done before. He's normally needed to be completely traumatized and in a stress situation to snap.
I wonder who does now at this point. Norman's 18, right? Isn't he 18 in the show, or is he 19?
Yeah.
He's probably 19 now.
Yeah. Who does Dr. Edwards tell? Like, who is it now? Who becomes? Edwards is legally, he's an authority, right?
Yeah.
He's got control at this point whether or not Norman can get in or out. But Norman checked himself in. And I know that the doctor can say at some point or another to the state, there's paperwork you can file and say, hey, this guy's a complete wackadoo. He's going to hurt himself. He's going to hurt somebody else, so he needs to stay. But where does that line get drawn? And then who does he tell this is a paranoid schizophrenic or personality disorder?
It's
or whatever?
very, very interesting you should say that, because I thought about that when the whole thing was Norman has to check himself in. We can't check him in. He has to sign his own consent to get in. And I thought, okay, well, if he's voluntarily checking himself in, then he's not. I mean, he may be able to say, okay, I feel good. I'm going to check myself out. He hasn't been committed, and the previews. I did look at the previews. It looks
like he wants to. He looks like he wants to bounce.
He says, "I want to check myself out." And he's like bumping around, like who knows if it's a delusion or whatever else.
But what's the legal? What's the legal? I would be interested to know.
I am not a lawyer.
What is the legal situation? Because I think when you check
you're,
yourself in, I think if the doctor if the institution you check yourself into decides you're a complete wackadoo and you come out and said like I do crazy shit, I think that they can keep you.
Yeah.
But he has not. He's not said he's done anything yet, and I think either in the preview or this one he says Dr. Edwards does say something about you're a danger to yourself and others, which is the line from the name of the first episode. But I don't know. I mean, maybe that's going to be Dr. Edwards' case, is that this guy's a danger to himself and others. However, there's no evidence. He already checked up. No one's dead according to he checked. There's no crime's been committed. So Dr. Edwards can't say he's out there killing people. There's nothing to investigate. There's nothing to do. It's all like he has these little blackouts. He's maybe getting better. He thinks he's better. Maybe he's best with his mom. Maybe his mom's in maybe it's a stable environment now. He's got the mom's married to the very
the sheriff, man.
The sheriff who can be more reputable than that. They have a nice stable home now. Let's give him some outpatient care. Maybe that's the theory. But I will say, Du'a, you reference this at the end there when she's like, you can't let him remember that or whatever. Don't tell him that. Or what's the threat?
She says, don't make him remember these things or else I'm going to have to do something about it.
Do something about it.
Yeah.
And Edwards gives a look like, huh? And
she kills fools, Dr. Edwards. She kills fools.
It was a threat, but do you think Edwards perceived it as a threat? Or what does he mean by that?
He seems like a sharp guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that
it's so thinly veiled, but he doesn't know what we know, which is showers and knives and.
Well, Dr. Edwards is smart, and I think that I think he'll probably take it seriously. But he already followed up with the cops, and so with about one thing. So there's nothing really to be suspicious of on that level. I think that if you are backed into a corner and if you feel threatened, you're gonna threaten somebody that you're talking to. I think that's totally normal, and I don't think that Norman feels comfortable to do it, so he has his mother persona do it. But they did leave the storyline open with Dylan and finding Emma's mother's letter in Norman's room, so that is now either a missing person or a dead body, and I think that resurfacing might
she's living in the pit.
Well, Joe doesn't think so. Joe thinks that she's still alive.
I don't know. I've seen a body.
If she's alive, she's
the rule of drama.
For a living lady, she's pretty dead in that pit. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm telling you right now. The rule. Game of Thrones is another one. Unless you see the body.
Yeah.
Or see the body.
Even when you see the body, it
That's true.
can turn blue and pop right back up.
You never know.
I'm blue as shit. Let's go.
Body means nothing. Nothing.
What did you guys?
That's a tagline for season 6 Game of Thrones.
I'm blue as shit. Let's go.
Tonight on HBO.
What did you guys think about Norman's reaction to the fact that he found out that Dylan is dating Emma now?
Oh.
Was it genuine or was
sanguine?
Or was it sanguine? Nice. It's
I like that word.
Was it a genuine reaction? Right. What do you think, Julia?
It felt pretty genuine to me. I don't know. I think he has bigger fish to fry right now. He never loved Emma. That was never his
they were
thing.
the kind of two misfits. They're bouncing around and bounced into each other.
I guess we're supposed to get together, make my mom jealous. I think he's fine with it.
But Norman is such a sociopath, except when it comes to his emotions as it directly relates to his mother. Any other interaction with any other human, I don't even know what the F he's thinking or feeling.
He doesn't know either.
It's like, I don't know if
he's repressing the shit out of it.
Yeah, but it's also like I'm, like Dexter, like anyone else, like sociopaths do. Like I'm acting how I think human beings are supposed to act because I have no idea. So I'm saying, what I'm supposed to be sad here, so I'm gonna pretend to be sad, or I'm supposed
crying,
to be happy,
watching
so I'm gonna
Parenthood,
pretend to be happy. That's real, buddy.
Give it a try.
I cried.
One episode.
One episode.
Give it one
dare
episode.
You. I dare you. I dare you to not cry. I dare you to not cry.
Maybe I'm the sociopath. I don't know.
Anyway, so
might be me.
But so yeah, so that's why I took that moment. Like like he's like, oh yeah, Dylan, I'm actually happy for you. I have no idea what the F Norman is thinking.
I thought it was surprisingly very similar to the way that Norma reacted. Is that he called it before Dylan actually had a chance to say it. He was like, I have something to tell you. And that's kind of the scene, and Norma found out the scene in front of the car, I think the first episode of this season, and she was like, oh, and she kind of called it before he had a chance to say it, and he was like, yeah, what do you think? And oh, it was good. I just thought it was oddly really similar to the way his mother reacted to it. So I thought that was
listen, so the episode, most of our truths are out here. So most of our truths are out, like Dylan kind of knows the truth or what's going on, and he's on the trail of what's happening. Dr. Edwards kind of knows what's going on with Norman, and he's got to report that to his mom. I mean, the questions are, will Norma believe him? Hey, Norma, check this out. He thinks it's you, and he's repressed because of you. He turns into you. I picture Norma going, that's not my Norman.
What?
Like,
but would he tell him, though? That's the thing. Would Dr. Edwards tell Norma what's going on?
Do you talk about the privilege?
I'm talking about, is that a privilege?
I don't know.
Is he an adult, and then he's going through some stuff, and that would affect his recovery to have his mother know that
Right. I don't know.
I would think.
But we have.
Gotta tell mom as part of the therapy. Don't leave your underwear around because she's gonna put it on. Like there's some stuff that you should know if you got a wackadoo son who thinks he's you.
Couple things before you get to predictions. I just want to lay these things out
son
here.
handbook.
First off, put your underwear away. Never leave your underwear out. That's first.
First thing. So Edwards knows about Norman. That we know about that. So what's going to happen there? Norma has completely confessed almost everything to Romero. Does she then take it a step further and start talking about the people she whacked and the people Norman whacked? Does she think so? Will she take it to the next step? And
he knows about.
Well, you know everything, right? Well, then there's some people that are dead.
He knows about.
You still want to go?
He knows about what's his name, right? The first one. Doesn't he know about that?
I don't know. I can't remember what he knows.
No,
folks can help us out here.
The guy who owned the hotel before she bought it, the one who got foreclosed on.
The guy who tried to rape her.
Yeah.
He did rape her.
Keith Summers.
Raped her.
That's right.
Keith Summers. I think he knows about Keith Summers, or at least suspects.
And by the way,
I don't remember.
Not for anything, Norma raped 3 times in one show, at least that we know of. She's had a rough go.
Three times. There was Edwards, and then
we saw one today, the flashback of one.
Oh, and you're talking about
and we're talking about Caleb, which alluded to today. We talked about 2 rapes today. We saw one, talked about one, and then the pilot had one. Yeah. Norma.
Show's kind of rapey.
And she actually, a little rapey. And she actually.
A little bit rapey.
She had a line in there, and Julia, I'm sure you wrote it down. She had a line in there talking about, when she referenced being raped by Caleb.
Do you know what it's like to be raped by somebody you love?
Yeah. And we just saw earlier what happened to her and her husband. But that guy's a charmer, by the way. Sweet guy, that Mr. Bates.
Oof. That was rough.
He's a real catch. Jesus.
Do you think they're painting him out to be like this, so then when Romero finds out that she actually killed him, that it won't be bad?
No, it's not that simple. Remember, because was it last week when he had the big hug with his son when he's all fucked up, passed out, and I know I love you, Norman, I love you. So he's not drawing a simple picture here. It's supposed to be complicated and complex. Not complex. I'm sorry, complicated and conflicted.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we do.
Right, just on that real fast. When he was describing what was happening, when Norman was the one describing it, that's when he had the hug from his father. When Norma was describing it, that's when it was the rape.
Interesting.
Dun, dun, dun.
Very good point. So a lot of stuff happening.
That's
so
good
Dylan,
stuff. Good stuff.
Normero, what's Chick gonna do? We have Dr. Edwards. A lot of stuff going on. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's get into predictions.
Rebecca's
Your
gone.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Du'a
Oh, brother. You know what I realized? Every time I make a prediction, I'm wrong. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like
That's a fun part of
last week, I was predicting that Norma was actually going to get rid of Rebecca and kill Rebecca. And what happens? Romero gives the key to Rebecca, and now she's out of the picture.
$3 million.
And I think that she's like out of the picture forever. I think that kind of is the end of her storyline.
You think that's it for her?
I do.
Okay.
I really do. And I think that's the way, you know.
I'll take that prediction. We have 15 seconds.
I think Caleb is going to come back.
He's coming back.
I think we're going to see Caleb.
But what's going to happen?
Kenny Johnson.
I don't know.
That's a weak prediction.
You know,
I predict Caleb's going to rejoin the show.
I think that Romero is going to do something to him.
Okay,
I
I'll
really
take
think
that.
that
That's
Romero.
prediction.
Romero's.
I think Dylan's gonna start investigating. Maybe take a road trip to Sacramento.
Yep.
Because he looked up that address and get to the bottom of this. And he's
Here
gonna have to
comes
be the one.
Scooby-Doo flashlights come back
We're
out
gonna
again.
have to be the one to break something to
caper
Emma.
time.
Yeah.
Which is gonna maybe break them apart.
Ooh,
He's gonna have to
capers.
choose
No.
between
Well,
family.
That's a very good
And-
prediction.
No more capers for Emma. It's the new band we're starting.
Go ahead. I'm playing Coachella next week.
Mine is much more just structural. I think next week, we're going to have a Last Supper episode again. I think things are going to get good in the next 2 weeks. Things are going to get copacetic. Everything's going to be nice, and then the shit will hit the fan. Because I think like we're getting a lot of the stuff just came out this week, a lot of nastiness, and we just had what you call it? We just had the sheriff, Nestor just said, hey, where are we going? We just got that connection. Boom, we're in love. It's like in a movie. Don't F it up. Blah blah blah. I think we're going to have one more episode of niceness, or one episode of niceness, and then I think it's all going to hit the fan.
Well,
I'm very. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, if we get Norman out of the hospital and he's back in the mix, Norman and those two together do not mix in that house. Norman will not tolerate Norma being in a happy relationship with another man.
Yeah.
Gotta go. My prediction is that same thing. I mean, we've seen Norma and Romero being super happy together, enjoying this honeymoon. This honeymoon has been sans Norman. I think Norman's the wedge that comes into place. Norma's a different person when Norman's around, and Romero has not got a load of the full, too close for comfort relationship. When Romero walks around the corner and sees one of those long, protracted hugs between the two of them staring at each other's eyes, he may or may not like that. So I don't know. But anyway, that's my prediction. We got to get out of here. Sorry, we went over a little bit. You guys, thanks for joining us in the chat room. Everyone, all you guys, Maria, Chloe, Dylan, Freckles, Nat, Shalom, Joe, all you people. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you for checking us out. Please check us out on iTunes and rate us. Give us 5s if you like. But it's not other people. That helps other people find us. Joe, where can the people find you?
You can find me on the Twitters at JoeFlippo, JoeFlippo.
Julia?
Twitter, Instagram. My name Julia Cearley, JuliaCearley.
Du'a
That's how I
Kaissi.
spell my name.
At Du'a Kaissi, DuaKaissi, on the Twitter.
That's right. You can find me on
Just as
Instagram.
bad as my intro.
Instagram and Twitter at Joe K. Braswell. And on Snapchat, I'm snapping like a fool, y'all. Snapchat
Snapping
at
like
J.
a fool.
K. Braz. Thank you for joining us. Those are my confessions. We're out of here.
Am I pregnant?
Sure. You're my chick on the side. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.